Good morning, guys. This is the final part in a quadratic equation. We've concluded sort. Now we are concluding quadratic equations. Okay. Then the topic here is just what problems leading to quadratic equations. Like they will give you in form of statements. Like I said, English and mathematics they go along together. Okay, if you can understand simple English, then you should be able to solve mathematics with interest. So you need, that is, you need to show interest before you can be able to solve mathematics. So like here now, if you look at the first one here, this is the first question, what problems? This is the second question. In this regard, most of the time we can use two different methods to solve this kind of problem. Sometimes we can use quadratic equation. Sometimes you can also use simultaneous equation. But based on what we are doing now, we are going to use quadratic equation to solve this problem. Now, the question says that find two numbers which differ by 4. All you just need to do, okay, we are dealing with two numbers here. Okay, let's just say, um, let's let the small number, let the small number be x. Like I said, you can use any coefficients. I'm mentioning this in all the parts. You can use many coefficients. You can use y. You can decide to use x. You can decide to use z. You can decide to use h. But most times we use x because x is common in those distance. So then it means that let the small number be x. Now look at the English. Find two numbers. Okay, so it means we're dealing with two numbers. Now, they now say which differ by 4. What is the meaning of differ? That is, there is a kind of difference of 4. Okay? Or one if one is 2, the other one you add 4 to it to make it 6. If one is 6, you add 4 to it, differ by 4. You add 4 to it to make it what? 10. That is 6 plus 4. Now, but in this case, you are making the smaller number to be what? X. Okay, then which is the first number, then it means that the second number which is higher, the second number is x plus 4. Okay, very simple. This is English. Okay, if you can't understand English, then it means that you won't be able to deal with mathematics. Okay, look at it now. Find two numbers. Okay, you see it, find two numbers which differ by what? 4. The first statement is find two numbers. So the smaller number is what? X. We don't know those numbers. Then another, now say, okay, the second number, what's the second number? They said differ by 4. That is, if this one is X, the second number will be X plus 4. Differ by 4. That is higher to the other number by 4. And they now said it here, and whose product is what? 45. Look at it very well. That is simple English. Okay, that's first statement. Find two numbers which differ by 4. This is another statement. Okay, and now this is the third statement. The product. So what did they mean by the product? They said this is 1, this is 2. They said 1 and 2 is equal to what? 45. Whose product? They are still referring to find two numbers. So the product is what? 45. This implies that x and x plus 4, which is the product. Okay, this is product now, is equal to what? 45. It's as simple as that. So some people, when they see word statement like this, they run away from it, especially the young minds, the students, they run away from it. They feel that this one is very is confusing, but it's not confusing. All you just need to do is just to split the statement and interpret the statement. Okay, like in this statement here, find two numbers. We know that, okay, we don't know the two numbers. Now what we do, what I did was that I had to represent the smaller number by what? X. They now say the second statement is which differ by 4. That is, if one is 2, the other one will be 2 plus 4. If one is 5, the other one will be what? 5 plus 4. I'm repeating this now because I know how what problems can be when you sit in an exam. So it means you need to break it down and interpret it. So now in this case, in order to avoid wasting time, look at this now. This is what? X times x, s squared. This is x times 4. 4x is equal to what? 45. You see that it's looking like a quadratic equation now. So it means that x squared plus 44x plus 45 is coming inside here. It will change to what? Minus 45 equals what? 0. So I can use factorization to do this. Okay. Now, if you look at 45, like the way I mentioned it in one of the parts on how to do factorization, look at 45. What can go in 45? It means that 9 can go. 9 can go in 45. 9 times 5 is what? 45. Okay? Because 9 times 4, 9 times 3 is what? 27. Then 27, when you add 9 to 27, you get what? 36. When you add another 9 to 36, you get what? 45. So it means it's 9 and what? 5. 9 and 5 will give me 4. Okay? Like the way I explain it in one of the parts. Please, if you know you've not gone through all the parts, please go through them so that it will make the other subsequent part to be clearer. Okay? So it means 9 and 5. It means 9. So it means that 9 and 5 can give me 45. So which implies that I can remove this, then I can now say that implies s squared plus 4x, no, plus 9x minus what? 4x minus 45 equals 0. So 9x minus 4x will give me what? Oh, sorry, minus 5x. 9x minus 5x will give me 4x. Okay, so s is common here. That's x into x plus 9. Okay, so here minus is common. Minus is here, minus is here. Bring it out. Okay, now 5 is common. 5 can go in both of them. Don't forget, in factorization, I've mentioned it. What you write here must be what you write at the other side. So this is minus what? 5 will come out. Okay, which is the same thing as x plus what? 9 equals 0. Okay, don't forget that this is s plus 9. S plus 9, you pick 1. S minus 5, you take 1. That's x minus 5. That's x plus 9 equals what? 0. This implies that x equals what? Okay, let me jump steps. S minus 5 equals 0, or x plus 9 equals 0. So don't forget, if minus is crossing equal sign, like I said, that implies s equals 5, or what? Minus 9. And don't forget that in quadratic equation, in what problem, it can never be minus in this case. Okay, it can never be minus. Let's assume it's the area of a square, like the second question here, when we were dealing with area of a square and things. And so most of the time we pick what? The positive part of it. So it means that the smaller number is what? 5, and the higher number is what? 9. You now say, therefore, it means that smaller number is 5. Then higher number, the higher number, like I've given you an example, is what? 5 plus what? 4, which is equals to 9. So it means that the smaller number is what? 5. The higher number is what? 9. It depends on the objective part or perhaps the theoretical part, but make sure you conclude. If it is the theory part, make sure you conclude to show them that, okay, the smaller number is 5, okay, and then the higher number, is what? 5 plus 4, which is equals to 9. It's as simple as that. Please try and understand them. These word problems, they are not hard. Okay, all you just need to do is just to cut the statement and understand each of those statements because they are written in English. Okay, so let's go to the second part now. To the second question, we have various questions that can come in this part. Okay, so if you have anyone, you can just drop it in the comment section. We look at it together, then we share knowledge. Okay, so then we have number 2 here. Look at what they said here. The width of a classroom. is 4 meters less than the length. They're dealing with two things here, the width and the length. It means they're talking about the area of a rectangle. This is the length, this is the width, breadth, which is the same thing as the breadth. Okay, so now they're dealing with two things here. Okay, in the shapes, when we get to the shapes of in mathematics, we'll be able to explain further on that. So we have the length, we have the breadth. Okay, now they now say the width. The width is the same thing as the breadth. Okay, the width of a classroom is 4 meters less than. So let's say let's 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 say um let's say let's the width of a classroom is 4 meters. Let's say let the width be y. Okay, let the width be what? Be y. Okay, now like I told you, I can use any alphabet. I can use M, I can use Z, I can use any alphabet. It depends on the one your own choice of alphabet you want to use. So I've represent my width, which is the breadth. I've represented it with what? Y. And they said it is 4 meters less than length. Okay, it means that my length, this is one. It means that my length is y plus what? 4. Okay, now in this case they said this one is 4 meters less than. It means that if I get y, okay, if I get y, so then it means that the width of the class is what? Is 4 meters. The width of the class is 4 meters less than the length. So it means that my length will be 4 added to this width. Okay, will be 4 added to this what? Width, to this width, to the 4 added to this width. From the statement, the width of a classroom, that is the first one, which is a comma. Okay, and we said that let the width be what? Y. Okay, now is 4 meters less than length. That's another statement there. Okay, now if you look at the diagram of length times breadth of a rectangle, breadth is always higher. Okay, length is always shorter. So let the width be what? Y. Then the length will be what? Y minus what? 4. So this one will be y minus 4. It won't be plus. Okay, because it's logical. When you look at the breadth is longer and the length is what? Is shorter. So, and now they now said its area is what? 45 meters square. It means the area of the what? Of a area of rectangle. Area of rectangle equals length times what? Breadth. So what is my length? My length is what? That implies my length is what? Y. This is my length, y minus 4. Then what is my breadth? Is what? Y equals, what did they give us? 45. You understand? So area of a rectangle, and they're giving us the area of a rectangle to be 45. So it means y times y is what? Y squared minus 4y equals what? 45. You can see that it's exactly looking like this. But the only thing that is different here is that we're having plus here. We're having, so it's, you look at the way they shape it and it's looking like the first question now. So now y squared minus 4y minus 45 equals what? 0. You understand? So we can use the same method, 9 and 5. How can it give us? I've mentioned it in one of the parts, okay? Either part 1 or part 2. How to, how to rearrange numbers to give you negative, okay? So now, like in this case now, this is the same thing as y squared, 9 and 5. That's, let's say minus 9y, okay, plus 5y minus 45 equals what? 0. It's as simple as that. So you have y is common into y minus 9. Okay, if you look at this one, 5y plus 5y, okay, plus 5 is common, okay, which is into what? Y minus what? 9 equals 0. If you expand this one, 5y plus 5y, this one will give you, that's 45. So in this case now, you now say that, okay, that implies y plus 5. Okay, I think this one is how y plus 5, then you have y minus 9 equals 0. Here is the same thing as y equals minus 5 or y equals 9. So if you look at this one, in this case, we pick 5 here because 5 is positive. But if you look at this one now, this second question now, we are picking 9 because 9 is what? Positive. So it means that the length is what? The width is what? 9. Okay, make sure you conclude. It means that the width, which is the breadth now, is what? 9, which is the y equals what? 9 here. So now it means that the length is what? 9 minus 5, which is what? 4. 9 minus 5 is what? 4. So it means that the width is 9, which is equals to, this width is what? 9, which is the y. Okay, and this one will be what? 9 minus what? 4, which is equals to 5. Okay, so it means this is 9, then 9 minus 4 is equals to 5. So length is 5 meter, length is 5 meter, then breadth is what? 9 meter. That is it. So that is just the simple arithmetic. Please don't forget the width of a classroom, okay, is y, then is 4 meter less than the length. So which means that the width here, you subtract 4 to get the length because it's less than. And the area of a rectangle, we'll get to the shapes very soon. Area of a rectangle is length times breadth. And they've given us the area to be 45, equates to be 45. So here too, you can also use simultaneous equation, but here in this case, we can use quadratic to solve this problem. Thank you very much. Please continue to like, continue to comment, continue to share, okay? And we keep moving forward, upward, and then onward. So we'll pick the next topic, then we want you to also follow along and as we move forward in this section of mathematics. Thank you very much. Cheers.